Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's do a thought experiment. Let's do an argument. Don't get mad at me. It's just a thought experiment. It's just an argument based on a thought experiment. James Meyer of the Watch Showcase is deleting his channel. He found his three-part Holy Grail. I think he got an Omega Planet Ocean, an Omega Speedmaster, and some kind of a GMT. And he's saying goodbye to everyone because this is the next phase of his life. And you know, a lot of us watch that video with a certain amount of envy, and we're happy for him because he's moved on. He's not in the rabbit hole of buying and selling anymore. So I want to make an argument today. And remember, don't get mad at me. This is a thought experiment. I want to make an argument for having just one watch. I want to make the argument based on the following arguments. Number one, you're not really into watches. You're really playing Batman. That's number one. Number two, you should know what your tastes are by now. You should have arrived at the point where you know what you want. That'd be number two. Number three, we'll call this the anxiety argument. You know, right now I have 3 watches in my collection, and my anxieties are relatively low. Whenever my anxieties are high, I have a lot of watches. Whenever they're low, I just have a few. Small number. The fourth argument for only having one watch, we'll call it the cannibalization argument. When watches cannibalize each other. Pac-Man eating each other. And then we'll address some counter arguments. One is, McMahon, we can't have just one watch because variety is the spice of life. We're going to refute that. We're going to refute that counter argument. Number two, some of you are going to say, McMahon, if I don't keep having watch flow, I need watch flow, bro. No, you don't need watch flow. You need protein flow. Anyways, I'm going to... A lot of you are saying, if I don't have watch flow, I'm going to be irrelevant on social media. And if I'm irrelevant on social media, I'm going to be lonely. I'm going to be, oh, okay, we'll address that. We'll dismiss that argument. And then the third counter argument is, I can't afford to buy a Holy Grail to end my watch coveting. I can't afford just one beautiful, amazing watch. We will dismiss that argument as well. So let's take on the Batman argument. Number one, you're really not into watches. I'm not into watches. We were kids once, and what we did was we would play Batman. We'd put on the Batman costume. That's what a watch is. It's your Batman costume. Now, when Bruce Wayne transitions into Batman to save Gotham City, he doesn't open up this closet full of different costumes and has to choose what costume he's going to wear before he saves Gotham City. He's got one costume, Batman. You need to find your Batman costume. It's you, it's your identity, it's your brand, it's your alter ego. It's really the undercurrent underneath your watch obsession, your watch passion. Find your Batman costume, that's number one. Number two, now James Myers, who left YouTube, he said, look man, I started my journey in 2009. I started out with a tag. Wasn't into it. I spent a bunch of money on this, that. I tried Rolex. Wasn't into Rolex. And he landed on planet Omega. Why'd you point at the stars? There's no stars behind. I don't know. When I say Omega, I go like this. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so he said, look, man, I defined my taste. I learned what I want. I learned what I want. So you don't have any excuse for having all this traffic, all this watch flow coming. You should know what you want by now. You don't have any excuses for that. The third argument why you should only have one watch is because when you have a lot of watches, just be honest with yourself. You're living inside the anxiety dungeon. Admit it. Admit it. You got all these watches everywhere. You want to get rid of them because you're in the dungeon. It's disgusting. You need to get your stress and anxiety levels down. Get one watch. The fourth argument for only having one watch, I call it cannibalization. This watch here, the SLA051, the beauty and the power and the potency of this watch is more pronounced when it's not competing with other watches. What happens is when you have a lot of watches, they cannibalize each other. They dilute each other. And you'll notice when you winnow down to your one watch, it has a different shine, a different luster, a different patina, a different potency. I don't know. Are you on Star Trek? No, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that was. So let's look at some counter arguments. Some of you are going to say, hey, McMahon, come on. One watch? Variety is the spice of life. No, variety is not the spice of life. Variety is the confusion of life. If you've got a bunch of variety when it comes to watches, you're going to be confused. You're not even going to know what you want to wear in the morning. This is what you're going to wear right here. The SLA051. Perfect watch. Perfect accuracy. Perfect finish. Perfect patina. Perfect bezel action. Perfect lume. Look at you. Oh, you're so proud of yourself, Batman. Number 2. Some of you are saying, hey man, I gotta have watch flow for my social media, for Instagram, because if I don't have watch flow, I'm irrelevant, then I'm lonely. You know what I'm gonna say? Being lonely and irrelevant on social media is the best thing that ever happened to you. That means you're not gonna be thirsty. That means you can focus on what you really need to do to improve yourself. Hey man, if I get kicked off social media, irrelevant, lonely, maybe it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Well, in my case, that's easy to say. I have a family. Took my daughters to the beach today. It was rather fun. Finally, some of you are saying, well, I can't afford a Holy Grail. You define what you can afford. You may be able to afford a watch that costs $3,000 to $6,000 or more, and you buy that one watch. You may be able to afford a $1,000, $1,200 watch. That's your one watch. You may be able to afford a $500, $400 watch. That's your one watch. How in the heck is buying dozens of watches an argument for your financial prudence? To the contrary, you're showing your financial incontinence, which I can't say that word without thinking of Depends at the drugstore. Anyways, so I mean, I pretty much have proved conclusively that you should only have one watch. Well, that's the gold standard. If you have one watch, that's the equivalent in the dietary world of being a vegan, if you're interested in not having heart disease. My cousin, 72 years old, his cardiologist told him to be a vegan. That's the gold standard. Well, I have 3 watches, so I'm not a vegan. What am I? I'm a vegetarian, but that's okay. I mean, at least I don't have 10 watches. I'm not at Hometown Buffet. Well, hey, I hope I freed you from the watch madness today. I hope I convinced you that you should only have one watch. Peace of mind is waiting for you. Are you courageous enough to do what you need to do to make this happen? Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, I'm out.